Alright, yeah, we about to be watching some Tommy G today. It's the first one. It's like the world of scammers. Yeah. What's good?
This is the scam mobile. Y'all ready to ride? Man, shout out America, man. I couldn't do this without y'all, man.
I don't know if this is what you like, bro, but
We just show y'all what y'all could do if y'all wanted to get rich.
doing this for a YouTube video.
The couple's American dream quickly turned into a nightmare after wiring nearly $800,000. All of that money went to a scammer.
How many times a week would you say you punch?
Don't be doing this.
Every day.
Oh my god. Is that your fork or what is that for chicken?
12 people are facing more than 100 charges in a major credit fraud scheme.
University student accused of stealing more than $500,000 in a credit card scam.
It's shocking.
It's actually crazy. $500 million.
A mail carrier. Why? It's believed they wanted the master key he carries that opens mailboxes for the entire neighborhood.
25 investigates exposing
That's crazy.
a check scam that can wipe out your bank account.
We're talking about scammers who can clone any of our voices using artificial intelligence.
We are talking about $100,000 in forged checks.
I better be careful out here.
From India, a billionaire's Ponzi scheme, a guy pretending to be a Nigerian prince, or a U.S. senator out trading hedge funds while employed on the taxpayer dime. The truth is, people hate getting scammed. After all, there are entire YouTube channels dedicated to getting revenge on scammers. You see, scammers are people that leverage social engineering, also known as human hacking, to steal, manipulate, and exploit. They'll make their approach, get you to trust them, then before you know it, they'll disappear into thin air after they've extracted your bank account, social security, or other valuable information. Today, we dive into the world of fraud and scamming, and we uncover how some of the scams are happening right now. We'll cover the biggest scam that's ever occurred in U.S. history, and we'll talk to the scammers to see how they think and what motivates them. And by the end of this, we'll provide you with tips on how you can avoid getting scammed yourself. This is the world of scammers. Let's dive in.
There are people out there looking to exploit your data for their own gain. With scammers like this out there lurking, it's a good idea to protect yourself. To guard against shenanigans like this, I use the sponsor of today's video, Delete Me, to help keep my footprint off the internet.
Delete me.
Or delete me for personal information. In the city of Minneapolis, scamming is a big business.
And delete that.
Calls it emotional hacking. Scammers drained $800,000 from her dad's bank account.
LaSalle University student accused
It's
of
actually
stealing
hella crazy.
$500,000 in a credit card scam.
Foster was doing fake transactions, marking items up in price, then returning them for the original price while pocketing the difference in account of her own.
In fact, there are multiple RICO cases going on for fraud right now. A big scam that was pulled was the food share program.
Nah, that's actually
People
crazy.
pretend
Hold
Up in
on.
price, then returning them.
But apparently in the city of Minneapolis, scamming is a big business.
I don't think I got that.
Emotional hacking. Scammers drained $800,000 from her dad's bank account.
LaSalle
From her
University
dad's
student
bank
accused
account,
of
though.
stealing more than $500,000 in a credit card scam.
Foster was doing fake transactions, marking items up in price, then returning them for the original price while pocketing the difference in account of her own.
In fact, there are multiple RICO
There you go. That's the
fraud.
that's the
right now.
formula.
A big scam that was pulled was the food share program. People pretended to be feeding the homeless and walked away with millions of dollars, and now they're getting RICO'd for that. A scammer is kind of like an illegal
crazy.
magician. They're pulling things out of thin air. There's illusion, deception, and before you know it or realize what they did, they're gone with the bag. Let's meet up with these guys and let's see what they're about.
Yo, my boy.
Is that you?
Yeah, this
I'm in the
Running that
GTA
car,
lobby.
That white car?
Alright, bet I'm finna walk over there.
Okay, yeah, door's unlocked.
Yo, what's up, bro? I say, I just know how to exploit ways to get money. Simple.
What are the different
Simple.
plays we're going to be getting into today?
We got punching, simple things. We go from getting food. We can go from gas. We can go from checks. We can go from transfers. scam work. It's all different type of ways you can get into it.
So what got you into this world?
Alright, so look, it started when I was younger. It was this rapper, his name TJX6. So when I was young, real young, I always just listened to his music and wondered, what the is this dude doing? I started getting into it, digging in, and it started with cards. If you listen to his music, he's talking a lot about cards, checks really. When he was talking about that, I kind of picked up on some things, and over time, I just got smarter and smarter and figured everything out.
So what was the first play you ever made?
Now IQ hacker, scammer.
Do what I met. And we was talking for a long time, and he told me something called, it's a certain type of check that you can order off a log.
Got the fucking
ship the check.
gloves on the.
I picked it up, put it in the ATM, 6,900 came. That was my first ever play. And ever since then, I've just been on it.
Has this ever put you in a risky situation?
7 bands, basically.
Pretty much scamming down here is pretty popular. I mean, in the city, everybody knows what's going on now. So if you find somebody that wants to do it, they know what they're signing up for. They know what comes behind it.
Are there rich scammers out there?
You can really get rich off scamming. That's real. It's pretty common.
6 figures?
Got a career of a.
That's real.
Rather than judging these kids, I wanted to try and put myself in their shoes. Now I know I'm overgeneralizing here, but here's a theory I'm working with. A lot of these kid scammers are from Gen Z, and this is the generation that saw their parents lose their house in the 08 mortgage crisis as the bank executives responsible got rewarded by multi-million-dollar bonuses, and the banks that fundamentally scammed the country got bailed out by the tax money of the very people they scammed. So essentially these kids witnessed a financial system that openly didn't give a shit about them or their parents, so heck, why not pull a scam of their own? And kind of explains the sense of nihilism that we've seen creeping into this Gen Z generation. Whether you talk about scammers, the Kia boys, or just an overall sense of I don't give a f, because it seems like the world around them is crumbling. Now from a cultural standpoint, we've seen the rise of scam rappers, guys like Baby Tron, TJX6, and Punch Made Dev, and these are guys who look effortlessly cool, ridiculously rich, and they seem to be easily getting away with scams on major banks and institutions. So yes, it's easy to point the fingers at the scammers you see here, and yes, they have a moral responsibility of what they are doing, but are they not just an underworld byproduct of a system that white-collar scammers created? I don't know. That's just a theory I'm working with.
Do you save much of your money?
Yeah. I'm not scamming long term to be scam guy for the rest of my life. This shit's all like, with anything you do, any hustle, all that shit just quick until you move on to your next, you feel me, next steps.
Have you ever been almost caught by law enforcement?
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take the yes.
No. Pause
me. Think yes.
Think about it.
You already know.
How much does an IP address come to play with what you do?
It gets deep. That's like your address. I don't know. Like, you feel me? That's like your internet address. So.
For most of the things you do you have to obscure your IP address?
Yeah.
Is that difficult to do?
Nah, average person could do it, I'd say.
So it doesn't affect a human at all?
Gotta do your research, guys.
Everybody has committed a scam before in some way. Some people do different types of scams. Some people do insurance. Some people do home scams. You know, it's all different types of scams. I look at it as I'm not taking money from a human. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'm a bad guy.
Or who you taking it from then?
Let me see. We just got a package.
How much money are we talking right there?
17K, bro.
Yeah, they playing GTA in real
What you're
life.
about to see is called punching chicken. Now, punching is lingo in the scam world that refers to the practice of using the dark web to get somebody else's credit card information and doing an online order to punch the item. You can punch chicken, pizza, presumably anything you can buy online. Here's how it went down.
Punching chicken.
This is the website that I would buy the cards from to do the punching. Ready to buy cards.
A fake credit card.
A real credit card, but it's just not ours.
And how much money does it have on it?
It depends. I wouldn't necessarily say I know the exact amount. Certain banks, they give you the ability to check. You can call the bank and you can check how much. But I would just be buying a card based off of the knowledge that I already know. There's something called a BIN. A BIN is a bank identification number. Now, depending on what BINs you have, you might got a card that has thousands on it. You might got a card that has millions on it. There's no telling them.
It's luck.
Rolling the dice.
Basically, yep.
So are these cards that someone physically stole, like at the gas station? It fell on the ground, they picked it up, they upload it to a website, and then it's sold to a bidder like you, or how does that work?
Basically, yeah, kind of like how you just explained it. I wouldn't necessarily say it comes from...
I got the Fortnite skin on though. That shit crazy.
So skimmers, they have machines that you can put on. For instance, at the gas station, you can put a skimmer on the machine where the people put their cards into, and then from there, you'll get about 1,000 hits. Now, depending on how many people put their card in that specific machine where you put your skimmer at, that's where all the card information will come from.
Does the skimmer also capture your PIN?
Yes, it does.
So if you use a machine that has a skimmer and you type in your PIN, all of a sudden you're wide open.
You're good. You're not getting your up.
You're good though.
Yeah. The thing about, you know, getting captured by
Better be careful.
is if you have the right type of setup with your bank account in terms of two-factor authentication, the bank asking like questions like, was this you that just spent money at Raising Cane's for about $100? You know what I mean? If you have these different type of protocols set up with your bank, then you're less likely to be a victim of fraud.
Basically, right now you can get free chicken.
I can get free everything right now.
Free everything.
Now we got the money on there.
Shit like air.
I can buy a card.
You can buy
V-Bucks.
Social Securities off this?
When you buy the cards, depending on how much the card costs, that's why I said certain cards, they range from 20 to 25 all the way up to 30. You can see, look, I'll show you when I refresh.
And I just saw you could buy a Canadian card, you could buy a US card, show you the country.
Wow. You can buy from anywhere on the planet. As long as the website has a way to get these cards and put them on their site, then you can get pretty much anything.
Anything.
Have you ever heard of punching a meal?
Get a PC off this shit.
We spoke to legendary lawyer Bruce Rivers and a man who's a financial crimes expert to get their opinion on the scams you see unfolding in this video.
Punching a meal.
No, I've never heard of that.
That's where you apparently acquire someone else's credit card and you use that to buy free food.
You know, there's a lot of scams going on.
Why would you tell them this shit, Tommy?
Like at a gas station, somebody attaches a skimmer. That's actually happened to me. Somebody tried to
Damn.
buy some stuff at a sporting goods store, like $2,000 worth of on my credit card. And then I see the guy in court.
The pistols on the desk.
I mean, I was like, holy shit, that's the guy that stole my identity. Had to trace it all back. We figured out exactly what pump it was. We figured out exactly where it was. And he had been doing this all over the place. So I saw him in Hennepin County in court. And my thing happened in another county. He was doing it all over the place.
A lot of times what's going to happen is you go to try and do a touch pay. It doesn't work. That's part of the plan. They want you to scan your card. So they actually will have a module, something that's identical looking to the actual card swipe, overlaid. Physically go and try and pull it off. If it doesn't pull off, you're good. If you can go inside and pay the gas station attendant, ideally in cash, avoid this whole digital footprint process, you're gonna be a lot safer. You see any sort of fraudulent activity on your account, immediately contact your bank. The sooner that you can contact the authorities, law enforcement, it's gonna be much easier to get your money back. When there's delay in space and time, scam, with any sort of financial
That shit
scam,
the video?
it's much harder to get your money.
Yeah, that shit's the video. I'm tripping.
Want to be specific on which one you
Like,
want to
the
buy.
fuck?
You can type in your bank identification number. So I'm gonna type in a bank that I know is gonna work. This is a bank called Wings Financial Credit Union. Very, very high class bank. So when you're doing simple punching for you know, food and shit, like we talked about, yeah, Cane's might take $100 loss today, but that person whose card I'm using, they're getting all their money back. 100% guaranteed.
Well, I've heard people that get scammed and it can take 30 days for them to get the money back in their account. The average American has $1,000 or less in their savings. So if you scam the average American and rent's due, they might not have it because of the scam.
You are right. But in terms of them never getting their money back,
In terms of I don't give a fuck.
their money back, somebody just texted and said he's seen the police. Tommy, somebody just texted him and said the police. Yeah, we gotta get out.
So we're outside of a Cane's chicken.
Fortnite.
How often do you guys get free meals like this?
Every day I eat free every day. Everything I do is almost free.
So the customer name is
Right?
Oh, they got the paper skins.
Thank you, actually. Look. Visa, credit card, ending in 75.
Okay.
We'll go over to the website, same card, ending in 75. Can't make this shit up.
Some guy named just lost 50 bucks because some guy got 50 chicken nuggets.
80, and we finna eat good.
80. I have to clarify that shit.
Let's get out of here.
After a successful chicken
GTA.
punch, the
Every
fellas
time they
decided
hear
to take
cop,
their
they think
chicken
that
to a
shit
warehouse in a secure location
coming
so
for
they
them.
can eat their chicken in peace.
Alright, bro, we finna get under the basement and eat. free food.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how legal was that, what we just did?
That's like a 10, because I fully completed it, you know? And anything that you do that you're doing fraudulent, it's always going to be a 10. The only thing that makes it
Bro,
secure is that
you really got the respect bars popping up. Like GTA.
If they caught you, what would be the punishment?
You know, it's a white collar crime. I don't think I would get charged with anything really because, like I said, they don't have any proof of identity, so they would have to drop the case. If they did want to take full action and give me a punishment, it would probably be anywhere from like 5 to 10.
5 to 10 years?
Just for some shit.
What makes it?
Damn.
It's hard for everybody right now. So it's like, if you ain't got no money, but you got somebody's card, you get all good. Just the other day.
Bro, are you doing 5 to 10 years for some $80 chicken now? Like, come on now. Come on now.
Is it that easy to get away with?
Yeah, 100%. I'm always in and out. I've never been in a spot and they tried to hold me or tell me, oh, we can't give you what you're paying for, you gotta wait a little bit, you know? But in terms of me going into a restaurant and I swipe a card, say that card declines. I swipe another card, I know they're looking at you weird. Give us a second. Matter of fact, you can't swipe any more cards. Just wait right here for us while we get the system set up, right? While they're getting their system set up, they're really calling the police to tell you, like, hey, this guy's in here trying to commit fraud.
So do you even get nervous making a play like this?
Hell no. It's easy, bro. I've been doing this shit since 2017.
Alright, let's see if
OG.
this is real chicken or scam chicken.
Come on.
If you could say a message to the CEO.
Fuck no, that shit crazy.
Thank you for the chicken. You fed a lot of hungry people tonight.
I guess big dogs gotta eat. Is that necessary for, is that your fork or what is that for chicken? Whoa! I'm gonna see if chicken tastes any different. Actually, this is my first time eating Raising Cane's. No fucking Diddy.
No Diddy, what the fuck they doing back there?
Ooh, and we got the tan too, people.
Might they caught me one. Showing you the whole playbook.
Change around with the car because it went grabbing, what is it, the CVV, but we had the code to change that shit around, take care of that. Alright, bro, so the page ready to go? Yeah, for now, once this nigga wake up, motherfuckers probably gonna get this sent out on today or tomorrow. I'm gonna give his ass a call, wake his ass up.
So, the guy that's sleeping, what role does he play? The guy that's gonna wake up?
So, the guy that sleeps plays a very important role. He's the one that do send-outs. Basically, I can't get into too much detail, but he does send-outs for banks, and we're able to access logs that way. Best way I can describe it is a message coming to your phone.
Okay. How hard is it to get your hands on this type of paper?
Easy. You can get it. Anybody can get paper like that.
What does it take for this to be legit? Like, is this a tough part of the puzzle, or is this pretty easy part of the puzzle?
One of the easiest parts, anybody have access to it.
How many hours a week do you think you work doing this?
Man, hitting that inhaler.
Still carry on light. It's probably gonna take hours out of the week. I'll probably save maybe like 10, 15 hours together. Most shit is fast.
What makes someone good at this?
Connection. The more connections you have, person has something for everything in every field, because there's not just one type of scam to be rich.
Does this profession make you nervous?
No.
Is it risky?
Yeah, for sure. Can't be nervous though.
What's your philosophy on life?
The world is mine. Have fun when you're young.
Is it hard to keep this on the hush? If you're busting big plays, is it hard not to flex it or to talk about it?
Definitely. I'd say that's one of the things. Now I'm getting to the point where I've been doing it for a minute. I don't care anymore. You know, I do it so like I won't even post.
What's your specialty?
No, he getting caught soon.
Specialties, you always level up, so I can't say I have like one good specialty, but I can do anything that I want. That's another thing. I think my good specialty is I can figure out whatever I want to learn. Anything.
Were you good at school?
Yeah, I was good at school.
Did you like school?
Yeah, school was fun.
What do you call yourself?
Baby J.
What's your specialty?
I'm good at talking, really. He's good at talking. You feel me? Everybody play different roles. So this is one of my guys right here.
GTA RP.
Come to you, ask her a couple questions. You'll get that. But basically, this right here is a check that I cooked up. This is like a real check that I made a copy of basically. So let me try to show you. This would look like original, and this would look like now. Exact same thing, exact ring. And this
Is
right
it
here,
Photoshop?
doing it, a lot of people don't know how to do it this way.
Check fraud. Printing out fake checks, cashing them at a bank.
What normally happens
Tommy G
is
just
that
trolling
the
at this
person
point.
who's doing the fraud is the one cashing it in. Usually they get some unsuspecting person. Oh, I can make you a lot of money, and so they write the check to that person. So there's a middle guy in between, and it's usually the person that's unsuspecting, not thinking that it's a fraudulent check, and all of a sudden they go to the bank and they try to get the cash. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's usually the unsuspecting person, not the person who's behind the scheme.
A check fraud is a complicated situation because
one
of the
I
biggest
only
ways
put
you can
8 on
protect
the
yourself
gas,
is go to the actual
feel
post
bad
office
for
itself
man.
and mail the check. And I would prefer that you don't even mail checks. I really
crazy.
shouldn't be at this point. It has all your information on it. The more space and more distance you have in terms of the transit that needs to occur with that check, the more risk you're going to have.
What is the penalty for printing fake checks?
It depends upon the loss amount, typically. If it's, and usually it's a felony because it's forgery and theft by swindle. And so if it's, under $2,500, it's probation. Each check becomes a felony count in and of itself, and you get enough of those, it can ultimately be a prison sentence. It really does depend upon the value that we're looking at.
And what can this play be worth?
This one right here was $5,400.
That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Piece of paper.
This is just making up a check?
Yeah, it's just me making one.
So you can make any amount you wanted?
Yeah, any amount you want.
Is it going to come out of here?
Yeah,
The bigger you go,
Infinite money glitch.
Once you touch that 10K mark, any scam over 10,000 is where it's serious. It's when it gets serious for real. Check forgery isn't so high of a crime.
How much does this printer cost?
Roughly about like $500.
It's crazy that a $500 printer can turn into thousands and thousands of dollars. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but you guys are kind of making it look like it does.
Should grow on a printer.
Got the original or a copy of a real check, sold it to you online, and you're printing out that version?
Either that or somebody in mailbox. Yeah, so it's two kind of ways to get a check. You can break a mailbox, or there's keys. You can look it up. You can probably find clips of people robbing mailmen.
In regard to mail
That shit
carriers,
not
there's
funny,
been a
but
lot
damn.
of violence towards them. There's been a lot of robbing of mail
Oh,
carriers
man.
and
And,
taking the keys that they use in order to open up mailboxes. And there's been all this money put towards these digital defense mechanisms and these electronic keys to use, but that still doesn't necessarily protect the mail carrier themselves. But this applies to everyone. In terms of protecting yourself generally, it's all about not having patterns. For the mail carrier, if you're on a route, just like if I was on a patrol route, if I had the same patrol route, same time, same place, every single day, it's easy for that patrol route to be intercepted. Change and vary your patterns. It's called force protection.
What about when someone hits a mail truck, steals the mail keys, and steals checks that way?
Bye-bye. In other words, that's usually done on an inside job basis. Because who's going to steal a mail truck? And know that there are going to be checks on that truck. Probably not too many.
Which is the most risky part of this puzzle?
I say out of all of them, the risky part, 9 times out of 10, you guess the most riskiest part and who has the most important role in this particular style is the person who's getting the checks. When you scare
Nigga better be getting the biggest cut.
We're always the villains, like, we also helping people, because we split the money that the money we never just running off. We split it 50-50 with them. Just now, right now, look.
Someone just said, I swear I got evicted, I gotta get back on my feet, and you said, I got you, cuz. Send me ID. Someone's sending you their bank
Right now, this is right now, look at the time. This is today, look, this is today. Some people actually need help, so it's like sometimes.
Oh no, y'all determine if that was.
Bring me other people's accounts. You see how real this look?
Motherfuckers think they Robin Hood.
You'll see, like, you see me?
Like, this is a real one.
This is a real check. Someone can cash this and then get paid for it right now. Actually, they are. Y'all finna see it today.
This might be the final
We
step.
can only fit so much into a YouTube video. All this will be available at Patreon only. Highly recommend you check that out. Link is in the description. Would you say this is up there, Miguel, for things you've done?
Top 3 for sure.
This is fucking ridiculous, dude. I'm not exactly sure what we're about to do, but it feels sketchy. The first scamming video I put out, people are wondering,
Tommy G
is
really
this
in the
guy
van.
real Is he scamming us and believing that it's real? But like the casualness of which we're doing some of these things is like.
Nah, you know what it says. Oh, shit, what the fuck going on, man? You cracking the cops, not safe.
I fuck it.
The cops, not safe.
Really in the GTA lobby.
Dangerous. You not get killed trying to crack a safe. We crack the cops. Please don't. Please do not.
So does Minneapolis feel lawless right now?
Certain parts is lawless. I'm not gonna lie, this whole city is known for scamming. That's like the biggest thing. Like even from the politicians to our parents to other people's parents.
How do the politicians scam?
They're hitting on a lot of shit. Like they get paid bribery and shit. Like they're into like the non-profit frauds and shit. Politicians here, they're dirty too. They play dirty games. Even the police even play dirty games.
He's not going to mention some of the biggest scams going on. Here's a look at something that's actively happening in the city right now. Here it is.
One of the largest scams in United States history happened right here in Minneapolis. During the pandemic, the Minnesota Department of Education was tasked with overseeing the handout of meals to kids, the needy, and the homeless during the COVID era, and they delegated local supervision to nonprofits like Feeding Our Future. What happened next was a tsunami of swindling. These nonprofits fraudulently claimed to be feeding thousands of kids a day within just weeks of being formed. Not only were literal tons of food wasted, but the fraud ended up costing the U.S. taxpayer about $250 million. As of now, there are dozens of people being indicted and brought to trial, and to this day this stands as one of the biggest scams in U.S. history.
On the dirty streets of Minneapolis, mama doing dope, daddy got no hope. He just scared me. The system scammed us out of both our parents. CIA bought dope to the motherfuckers. See? My daddy, they got on my
shit crazy.
They ain't trying to pay no child support. It's cool though, bro. Cause you know we gonna do, we gonna grind, nigga. This that shit that we love, nigga. We love making that money on.
That money on.
Make that money on. This shit get wicked out here for real. Yeah, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not gonna say this like I'm the biggest, baddest guy to do this to people and shit. Nah, bro. I just do this to get by people to get to hear me.
What percentage of scammers would you say are balling, and what percent of them would you say are actually kind of broke?
They are bullshit scammers. Like, there's always the one main person, then there's the middleman, then there's the middle's middle. You know, like, it's like a tree. One person passes a card to one person, that person gets passed down to the main person. The main person is the one who splits the money between everybody and decides how much everybody else is going to do. So all scammers are not rich. That's another thing. Like, you can be a scammer and not have a way. Feel me? Like in scam world, it's always a new scam. That's another thing. And it's about who figures out the scam first.
Not bad.
There's too many runners. Like it's like you always tell like we will scam, we know who a runner and who's boss trying to find the moves. But don't get it confused. I done seen runners turn into bosses. You feel me? Like it's a lot of runners that became the man, that man, you feel me? So, big thing in the scam world, getting slimed out too.
What is that?
Slimed out, like, say Mexican, brother just did a move, and you like, I'm not paying you, or who you brought. It's over.
Damn.
I'm taking the whole bag. That's like, that's what
But the worst you can do to someone.
It's correlated scam world too, but also somebody. Last time they did it's not what it's about, it's about wiping it down. That's a whole other step. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like easy. You can't just wake up and come. It's not that easy. Now, it's that easy to do basic shit, but it gets deeper than that. It can be a blessing and a curse at the same time, but it just depends on how you break through. You gotta stay consistent too. You gotta stay consistent with anything you do.
Alright, you're filming.
I'm gonna show y'all some box action.
Scammers operate in a climate of deceit. You see, fraud is a game of smoke and mirrors. These guys ran off with the camera to presumably make an ATM play, and what I saw on the tape left me questioning reality.
That shit bad. Not even that much.
That's some great footage. See the police?
Where you guys see him?
That's money though.
You guys were out there for like fucking 20 minutes in ski masks and glasses.
We had a little technical difficulty. You took us so long, and you'll see the dead. The car started locking on us. But sometimes the card will lock up and then they give you like fraud alerts, which the person has to confirm on the phone.
You guys were skied up with glasses the whole time in front of a bank? Like,
You gotta be.
how is that not, like, do you guys feel like you guys were out there for way too long?
Time limit. And what can they possibly do for real?
One of the things that comes to mind is
Unless,
what
like,
we are seeing,
arrest
is
you?
that even real? And what makes me think it is real is that they took 20 minutes outside of this van, they got fraud alerts on their phone. If they were just taking money from their own account, it would have been in and out in a minute or two. But this also brought up more questions.
Now, remember earlier in the episode when I was talking about the sense of nihilism that I have noticed in Gen Z? When they do things like this, their nihilism can come off as quite sinister. I mean, scamming people, banks, grandmas, restaurants, it's pretty crazy. But what I think is the source of all this nihilism is a lack of hope. And why I think a lot of Gen Z has no hope, I mean, this is the first generation in American history that's projected not to do better than their parents. These kids have inherited this world where they can't afford anything, the food, the housing, the college, all of it is sky high. And the people making the rules, their government, is this lazy, lousy bunch of bureaucrats that openly cheat all of the time. So a lot of these kids, I think, have just said, F it. The world is fake, the world is a scam, and I'm gonna scam the world. I'm gonna get mine for myself at any means necessary. I'm gonna cheat the system that I feel cheats me.
But what do I know? I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm seeing and figure out the world. That was a look into the world of scamming. Any final thoughts, fellas?
And we didn't give y'all everything. We didn't get a chance to give y'all everything, but and we won't give y'all everything. We love y'all. We don't scam people for a living. We help people out.
We took a deep dive into this world. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Peace.